So this was something I never would have expected when this was first announced. And after it was announced, I figured I had to talk about it, which I am. And that is Childress Racing was the one that announced that Kevin Harvick will use the number 29 that he started his Cup career in. And it will be changed from the 4 for the All-Star race on May 21st. That change will be at North Wilkesboro Speedway, in which the Cup Series makes their return for the first time since 1996. The announcement came just before the Cup Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway, in which Harvick finished 33rd in that race, respectively. That track was where Harvick won in just his third Cup start on March 11, 2001. That emotional win came only 3 weeks after he replaced the legendary Dale Earnhardt after Earnhardt's death in the Daytona 500. His Richard Childress Racing team quickly put him in the car after being promoted from the Busch Series. The number got changed from 3 to 29 at Rockingham. Harvick's 29 Ford for the All-Star race will be a throwback to that first win from 2001 at Atlanta. His sponsor Busch Light will also revert to period correct branding on the car's hood and fenders. Here's Harvick talking about the announcement of the paint scheme and more with Shannon Spake and Andy Petrie, courtesy of NASCAR Race Hub on FS1.
Yeah, well, based upon that first win, we really thought it was important to touch on the 13 years at RCR, and Richard and everybody in RCR, they're going to allow us and everybody at Stewart-Haas to run the 29 car.
So cool.
With the first paint scheme at the All-Star race.
Check it out.
Busch Light has their 2001 logo on the car from that particular year. And to me, this is really cool to see the two organizations work together and be able to run the 29 car again. For me, just makes my heart beat fast.
That is amazing, man. That car looks so good. I can't believe that you were able to get all those guys to agree to do this, change your number, have two organizations, two great organizations come together to do that.
So
That's
simple.
Great.
I walked into the meeting and I told them that's what I wanted to do. It was my idea. And I walked in and I said, hey, here's what I want to do. And everybody from SHR is like, well, let's make it happen. But who's going to call Richard? I said, well, I'm going to call Richard. So I called Richard and I got him on the phone and he said, Kevin, you can do whatever you want. We're in full support. You've had a great career. You did a lot for RCR.
That's so cool.
And he did a lot for me. And to me, I can't wait to take that picture with Richard and the crew chiefs and all the people that I worked with from RCR North Wilkesboro that night.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, you don't know how much respect that Richard has for you and what you have done for that organization. I walk through it every day, and there's pictures all over the place, all these wins and everything that you've done there. And you're still kind of an icon in there.
Well, it makes me proud, and I know that those were 13 special years, and none more special than that one right there.
Harvick also talked about what the emotions were like to reveal the car and more, also courtesy of FS1.
Well, I saw the renderings, and we started working on this, I guess it would have been the end of November, maybe 1st of December, and I can't wait for the fans' reaction to, I've seen all the merchandise, and I've seen the car, and I've seen everything that goes with it, but what are the odds, right?
Look at how close
what are the
they
odds?
are.
What are the odds that I get to drive that car again?
Cool.
And it's
what's the number?
For me, it's there are so many emotions attached to this that I can't even explain.
Where do I get a T-shirt? I'm going to wear it All-Star Week.
I'll get you one.
Okay.
I think we have an older picture from that day, is what I'm being told. Let's take a look. See, I think this is what I was telling you about, Kevin. Like in the
just
newsroom.
a little baby.
Look at, that looks like your son. That looks like Keelan right there.
It does.
So crazy.
Yeah, Keelan and I have a lot of similarities.
You're such a baby.
The unique part about that time, we went to the racetrack. We had white hats with Goodwrench hats on them. I have one at home that I got signed that year from Muhammad Ali.
Oh, really? That's cool.
And so there are so many things like that because we just had generic stuff because everything happened so quickly, and we never really had time to properly celebrate the 29 team, the RCR organization around that win. Because it was always tied to Dale and everything that happened, and there's no emotion that was ever around that first win that I remember, other than it was a big moment for the sport.
Harvick spent the first 13 years of his career with RCR. He won 23 of his 60 career wins driving that 29 car. Harvick joined Stewart-Haas in 2014 and has driven the 4 car since he joined them. The 29 hasn't been in the Cup Series since Harvick was last in the number back in 2013. After he left, RCR brought back the 3 once Austin Dillon took over the next year. Harvick has made the All-Star race 22 times and never missed it once in his career. He's won the race twice in 2007 and 2018. This year's race will be at the .625-mile North Wilkesboro track, which will be the first time since 1996 that the Cup Series will be at that historic track. The track has gone through changes so it can be ready for that event, but has been made sure to keep the old school feel to it also. Pretty awesome that this is happening, that Kevin Harvick is going back to the 29 for the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. Obviously, when this was first announced, I figured I had to talk about it, which I finally am. And it's pretty awesome that that's the case like that. He mentioned it on Race Hub as well, that the 29 never really had a chance to really celebrate the 29 like he would have, because of how fast everything was, and how he said in 2001 they wore genetic uniforms, pretty much something like that, along those lines, because of the fact that everything happened so fast because of the death of Dale Earnhardt, and they didn't have enough time to enjoy it as well. But it's pretty awesome that they're finally doing that here in his final year. Never would have expected this. This came completely out of left field. But I'm so happy that they're doing this with the 29, especially. It's going to be weird to see it on the Ford, and especially how I feel about the number placement. But other than that, it's still an awesome paint scheme. And this isn't the first paint scheme that he's thrown back to from that specific 2001 win. In 2005 at Atlanta, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of GM Goodrich, who was the sponsor at the time, sponsoring Richard Childress Racing, they had a somewhat throwback paint scheme to that 2001 at that 2005 Atlanta race as well, which is pretty nice as well, but it wasn't exactly replicating the paint scheme like this one is for the most part. And also in 2021, he ran a throwback to that 2001 paint scheme as well, when he had the black at first, the black 29 before it became red, and he ran that at Darlington as well in 2021 for the paint scheme that he ran at Rockingham that year in 2001. So so he's had times to be able to honor the 29, but not like this though. It's pretty awesome that he's doing this. And the fact that Busch Light also decided to participate as well is pretty awesome there as well. So it's going to be awesome to see that car on the track. And also, I hope that he wins and everything like that. So that's going to be awesome as well. But he's had a lot of great paint schemes with the 29. Not just the original Goodrich paint scheme as well. He's obviously had the paint scheme with the Shell Pennzoil as well, which he won the 2007 Daytona 500 in, with that epic photo finish with Mark Martin as well, which wound up being his only career win in the Daytona 500 as a result, because he's retiring. And if he didn't do that, he would have never won the Daytona 500. So that was a pretty iconic paint scheme there as well. And of course, you can't forget about also the paint scheme that he had with the Reese's paint scheme. That's a pretty cool paint scheme as well. And he won with the Reese's at Phoenix as well, which he ran in 2006. And he won 2 races there, swept the races there as well. So the Reese's paint scheme was pretty nice as well in that aspect too. And of course, you can't forget about the Goodrich paint scheme. But first, I want to talk about the red one. That's a pretty nice paint scheme he ran as well in 2003 that he ran at the Budweiser Shootout, which was known back then. And that was a nice paint scheme with the red. And it was pretty different. It was very bright and vibrant and all that. So that was a nice paint scheme as well with the GM Goodrich. But of course, you can't talk about the 29 without the classic GM Goodrich, the Harvick's version of it, with the nice black and red and the gray as well, with the zigzag lightning looking things as well. Pretty nice paint scheme as well, which that was a paint scheme he won the 2003 Brickyard 400 in as well, which was a pretty awesome paint scheme as there as well in that aspect. And that's pretty iconic as well, like Harvick's version of the GM Goodrich paint scheme. Obviously, the Dale Earnhardt, that's no introduction there, how iconic that is. But Harvick's 29 is pretty nice as well, and it has his own unique spin on the paint scheme as well, and to have it Harvick-like. And that's a nice paint scheme as well. Wish they do a throwback to that paint scheme as well. And I have great memories with the 29 as well. I remember he was one of my main drivers during my time playing NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup, still play it. And as a result, I used the 29 for a long time with that classic GM Goodrich paint scheme that he had from the 2004 year as well. And as a result, he was also in that game, and he was on the cover as well, the cover athlete of the game of NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup. Even though he didn't make the inaugural chase for the next Cup that year, still pretty awesome to see him on the cover as well. And it's pretty awesome to be able to see that pace scheme in the game and to be able to race it as well. So that's a pretty awesome way as well, to be able to do that and all that as well. So that was awesome there too. But yeah, pretty awesome, like I said, again, for him to be able to do this as well, to be able to race in the All-Stars with the 29 again. And also he had the 29 on the cover of NR 2003 with Jimmy Johnson. Their cars were on the cover, not him himself, either one of them. So that was awesome there too. So congratulations to Harvick on being able to do this. It's a great way to be able to honor him in his final year, as well as he is retired, like I said. And for him to be able to race it at North Wilkesboro, which is pretty awesome as well, since that's a throwback in itself too. So I'm excited for that race. And I'll be rooting for Harvick in the 29 as well. Hopefully he'll get a chance to win that race too, because that's a big deal to try to be able to win that in his final season, and to be able to win at North Wilkesboro, to be able to be the driver who has the honor of winning at the first race in NASCAR, the Cup Series at North Wilkesboro since '96. So I'll be hoping that he'll win that race too. So see what happens with that. But yeah, awesome for Harvick to do this as well. It's going to be awesome to see that 29 on the track again for sure. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. And if you're a brand new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.